to stay focused on what we're doing. In other words, it's not about what Washington's doing or necessarily what the state is doing. It's about what are we doing. And what we're doing is very significant. And it starts with this particular thing we're talking about right now, the Ohio Project. The Ohio Project is a significant tipping point for the Tea Party Patriot groups. Because what it says to our elected politicians is, we don't need you. We don't need you. And the way things have been going in Columbus and in Washington, there's a whole lot of us who say, you know, maybe this elected people isn't working out too well. Okay? So what's going on here is this Ohio Project and this ballot initiative is critical for us establishing what we can do. In other words, the only thing they respect, folks, is force. Would you agree with that? Progress, Ohio ain't playing nice, are they? They're not going to play nice. So we need to be able to have enough force behind what we do to win the fights we choose to fight. But it isn't one fight. There's a whole bunch of fights here. All right? Now, Senate Bill 5, which is now issue 2, okay, which is kind of interesting. Let's just change the name. Maybe we are learning from the Democrats, right? Let's just change the name. So issue 2, which is Senate Bill 5. A lot of people say, well, we don't want to mix it. We don't want to, mix it up with the Ohio Health Care Amendment and all that. And I understand, from a strategic standpoint, we're not going to mix it. Okay? We're not going to be doing both those things at the same time. But what we need to understand, everyone in this room needs to understand, that if Senate Bill 5 doesn't pass, we're going to get blamed anyway. You believe that? Whose fault it's going to be? They're going to blame the Republicans, or they're going to blame us? They're going to blame us. Number 2, if Senate Bill 5 or issue 2 does not pass, all the things that we want, whatever legislation we want going forward, like school choice, legislation like having the state of Ohio be not with the worker, being right to work, okay? Things like that that are important to us. If Senate Bill 5 loses, all the House members, all the Senate people are going to run scared. They will vote on nothing. Nothing. We will get not another piece of legislation through as long as Kasich is governor. Write it down. That's a fact. Okay? Now, there's another important strategic reason for us to win Senate Bill 5. And that reason is, as we know, people want to say we're a branch of the Republican Party or we're this or we're that. We're none of those things. We just believe in the Constitution. We believe in our country. We believe in changing things that are wrong and making them right. Amen. Right? That's what our job is. That's what we're trying to do. We don't care what party it is. But let me kind of walk you through a scenario that will help you understand how all these things are connected. Regardless of what anybody says about Senate Bill 5, issue 2, and quite frankly, I always just ask one question. Are you better with it than you are right now? And the answer is absolutely. Absolutely. Despite its flaws, despite the way it was done, despite the way it handles police and fire, the bottom line is you cannot argue. You cannot argue that getting rid of teacher tenure, that having merit pay in our schools, having transparency in negotiations, eliminating benefits from binding arbitration, from collective bargaining, having collective bargaining not end in binding arbitration. You cannot argue that that will not help our schools. You cannot argue that. But even that isn't the most important point. The most important point is, and you have joked with me about this when we stood in the Senate, dome, being surrounded by all the Senate Bill 5 people who were paid to be there. We've joked about the fact that we have to pay our own way, and we have to pay their way too. Right? We're paying to arm them, and then we have to fight them. The most important thing that Senate Bill 5, issue 2 does is it defunds the Democratic Party. It defunds the Democratic Party. It's that simple. And that is critical to us. That is critical to us. I can tell you that winning issue 2 in Ohio, they're putting everything into it. Everything. They're calling out everyone around this country. $30 million they're going to spend to win this issue. When we beat them back, it's over in Ohio for Barack Obama in 2012. It's over. They will not come back. They will not come back. Right? When we win that issue, they will not throw good money after bad. They'll take that money to North Carolina or South Carolina, but they aren't doing it here in Ohio. Okay? So that's step one. That's step one. Now earlier today, you had Jeff Longstreth here talking to you about the Ohio Healthcare Freedom Campaign, right? And Jeff was talking about how we're going to identify people and turn out the polls and all that. But he also talked about fundraising. I hope. He talked about that, Nancy. He talked about these mini fundraisers, okay? Now follow me on this, all right? We win Senate Bill 5. We defund the Democratic Party. The next thing we've got to do is defund the Republican Party. Okay? So how do we do that? We do that by learning how to fundraise. Because we will take money from people who previously supported them. And what my vision is, what I hope to be doing at this time next year, is I'm hoping that by this time next year, we've defunded the Democrats who Senate Bill 5, and we've out-fundraised the Republicans because of what we learned in the healthcare amendment campaign. Then we go into the 2012 election, where we have everything they don't have. We've got real volunteers. We've got feet on the street. We've got you. We've got totally engaged Americans fighting for their Constitution, fighting for their country. That's what we need to turn this country around. That's what we need to take back the Senate and the White House, right? We want both. We don't want one or the other. We want both. Because we want to make real change. And so for those of you who dream of a third party, that is impossible. We're not strong enough yet. But that time will come. Because November of 2012, if things follow the way they should follow, if you do the things I know you can do, if we do the things I know we can do, we can win the healthcare amendment, we can win Senate Bill 5, we can out-fundraise these people, we can out-organize them. If we do those things, we're going to end up electing a Republican most likely for the presidency and a lot of Republicans for the Senate. But the time is going to come, and I've said this to the congressmen I've been on conference calls with. I've said this to them when they were talking about the debt ceiling and how we're going to be debating this whole debt issue all next year, right? Every presidential candidate is going to lay up and say, here's what I'll do to cut the debt. And I said to them, remember one thing. Once we elect you, you better perform or you will be faced with a third party. That's what's going to happen. 2013, you're going to have a piece of the cards. You're going to have the keys. But if you don't do what you promised us, we will have the strength on the ground, we'll have the strength in money, and we will go to war with you. And I've said to the Republican Party many times, I know one thing's for sure. The day we decide to be a third party, I don't know who will first or second, but I know you'll be third. Right? That's a fact. That would happen right today. That would happen right today. But as you can see, this movement is gaining strength, despite what they want to tell you on TV and what they want to talk about and all that. That's all BS. They're scared to death of us, or they wouldn't be talking about us. Right? They are scared to death, and good. Because what does Mark Levin say in his book, right? When you fear government, there is tyranny. When the government fears you, there is liberty, right? We want liberty. That's what we want. We want them to fear us. So the next part of this little happy campaign that's driving them crazy is when you pass the Ohio Healthcare Amendment, the next thing is to put another amendment on and say, we're going to pass that too. And you know what? And we don't need you to put in the legislature. We don't need your vote. We, the people, are going to start deciding what we do. And then there'll be another one after that one, and another one after that one. Because you know what? We're developing skills. We've got organization. We've got structure. We know how to get these signatures. We know how to get them better than anybody, don't we? Right? Who's done better than us? No one ever in history has done better than you. No one. That's a fact. That's a fact. You can't believe what you did. You cannot believe what you did. Literally, you talk to these consultants, and you say, oh, we're going to get 75% of our signatures, they didn't believe us. They said, no, you're not. No, that doesn't happen. No, we are. And Jason said, yeah, we are. I said, no. Well, give us a few counties and we'll count it out. We'll count it because we don't believe you. They've never seen anything like what you've done. That's God's honest truth. They've never seen anything like what you people in this room did. And I keep saying, but you ain't seen nothing yet. We're just getting started.
That was our first shot.
That's our first shot. That's just trying, right?
It's only 75%.
That's right. Wait till you see what we can do. Wait till you see what we can do. So, as I'm kind of painting this picture, you're seeing the largest fundamental change in the history of the U.S. government, probably since the Civil War. You're seeing the American people raising up and saying, no, we will not let this happen. We will change this no matter what you say, no matter what you do. Because the power, at least for now, still lies with us. Still lies with us. But we're this close. We're this close. We cannot let this president get reelected, or that's gone. That gap is closed. So I'm just really excited about our future. We have challenges. You know, my wife will tell you, I spent a lot of nights thinking about those challenges and how we're going to win, and what we're going to do tactically, and how we can be smarter than them, and how we can get resources, and how we can help you do what you want to do. But I am confident when I see you that we can do it. I have no doubt in my mind. And I'm just excited about the future of our country because of that, and I hope you are too. All right? Thanks for all your hard work. Keep with it.
He's preaching to you and he knows you can do it. So I want him to tell you and tell him what the school board said to you.
Well, we are in the Portage County Tea Party. I'm the executive director of the Portage County Tea Party. I was the president of the We the People Convention, and now I'm the president of the Ohio Liberty Council. So we're a busy guy. You know, we do a lot of things. But in the Portage County Tea Party, you know, we are very serious about elections. We play to win. I'm not interested in ties. I'm not interested in trying. Trying doesn't work, folks. The only thing that works is winning. We're in this to win. We're not in this to win just barely. It's just like this challenge that Ohio, Portage, Ohio is doing. You know what? I expect Maurice to kick their butts in court. I want to embarrass them because their challenge is BS. Okay? So we're not afraid of them. We're not afraid of them. Our people are better than their people. Okay? And then the second part is, if you keep doing the challenges, we'll just keep getting petitions. I don't care how many petitions. It's all about winning. It's about force. I mean, some of you are old enough, at least the guys are old enough to remember Vince Lombardi. Okay? I'm from the Vince Lombardi School of Football. I'm going to tell you that Horning's going off a right tackle behind Kramer, and you try to stop it. And I'm going to run that play 15 times in a row until you can't stop it. Okay? I don't care if you know what we're doing. We're so good, we're going to do it anyway. You're not going to stop us. We're going to do what we have to do. We're going to execute. So in the Portage County Tea Party last November 2010, we were in a very Democratic county. Okay, our county is 155,000 people, and the Democrats outnumber the Republicans 32,000 to 14,000. There has been total domination by the Democratic Party there for probably 50 years. Okay, and so we went out to change that. And Portage County Tea Party has 2,161 members in it. 1 out of every 59 adults in our county is a member of the Portage County Tea Party. And we basically got together to go door to door with our door hanger. We formed a PAC so we could endorse. We raised money, printed the door hangers, and 345 of our members went door to door to 45,000 homes and said, these are our candidates, and we'd like you to vote for them. One of them is Robert Owens, sitting in the back row right there. Okay, there's Robert Owens. And though no one said we could do it, because the way it's always worked is whoever has the most money wins, right? Whoever has the most money wins. In our county, that was a severe challenge to our Tea Party. Because if you have the most money and you win automatically, what's the point? What do we vote for? Why vote? Why show up? Why do anything? So last year, the challenge to us was to prove that we had a reason to exist. And so we went to war, and we were outspent 6-1. Okay, Steve Dyer in our Ohio House Congressional District, he spent $222,000. The candidate that ran against him had $45,000 and he won by 15 points going away. Wow. We won 72% of the races we endorsed. Robert Owens got the most votes in our counties he got in any county in the state of Ohio as an independent candidate. And then in the last school board elections, in the primary, and just recently, we are undefeated. We have won every school board levy that we've won to fight. Because it's all about organization, it's all about citizen information, it's all about educating our fellow citizens, making them aware of what's going on. And if you really think about it, if you look at the Constitution, if you look at what makes America different from every other country, something that Barack Obama doesn't understand, it's that we, through our Constitution, self-govern. It is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And what I tell the people of Portage County is, it's pretty tough to self-govern if you don't show up, right? You got to show up. You got to show up at the school board meetings. You got to show up at the township trustee meetings. It's that simple. It's that simple. And the only analogy I can really use with you that I think hits home, particularly on a Sunday today, is I always say to people, if you believe in your God, whoever your God may be, you go to church or mosque or temple to honor your God, but you live your religion every single day of your life. You live it throughout the month. If you love your country, if you love freedom and liberty, if you love the Constitution, is it too much to ask you to go to 2 meetings a month? Is that too much to ask to be free people in this world? And when I ask that question, most people live up and say, you know what? That's not a hard price to pay at all. When our Navy SEALs are getting blown out of the sky in Afghanistan fighting for that freedom. Right? It's all it takes is showing up. Show up. And if you show up, we will get results. And I think that's what Nancy was asking me to share with you, that we can do this. Well, again, liberty, freedom is not free, right? A lot of you know that. A lot of you know that. And it's serious business. It's serious business. So we just had a school board, special election on August 2nd about a levy in our community. And the Tea Party came out against that special election. And we beat them 3-1. Just crushed them. Okay. So of course, that night they had a school board meeting the day after the election. And of course, one of the school board people put forward a motion to cancel their contract, the school's contract with my company, so they could hurt me personally for backing that levy. And I wrote to one of the people who said they were going to do that, and I said, you know what? If that's the price of free speech, I will gladly pay it. I will gladly pay whatever price that I have to pay to protect the Constitution and protect our free rights. And all of us, I know you will do that. I've seen you do that. I've seen all of you stand up against people who want to intimidate you, call you names, challenge you, and you've always stood firm, just like our forefathers, just like the patriots you are. And that's why I know we're going to win. There's no doubt about it in my mind. We are going to win. Just keep working, all right? Thanks again. Appreciate it.